Hello, we are carrying on here with our series of demos using qtVlm to do various chart plotting exercises electronically. And in this case, we're going to do a danger bearing. And this is another exercise from our workbook. And it's going to be exercise number 6.2, which I will here explain. The boat is somewhere around here, and it wants to go into this bay. And however, we learned from the Canadian Coast Guard announcements that this buoy is not there; it's off station and not showing. So we have to get around this corner, and there's strong currents here setting to the south. So what we need to do then is we're going to set up a danger bearing using this light here, and to keep us off of these shoalings here. And that's the problem we're going to solve. And these things that are actually very fast. But the concept of danger bearing we've just discovered in the class over the years is sometimes confusing. And so what I want to do is preface this with just a discussion of danger bearings in general. And let me see, and I've set this up here. Now, qtVlm has the option of I can set up a given site, a view, and then do Command F11 or a PC Control F11 and store it. So then I can look at this. I can go back here to our problem we're going to work on, but right now I'm up here doing this. And so this is on Nantucket, the tip of Nantucket Island. So first let me move the boat here. So I move the boat here. And now when I put the cursor on this light here, whoops, sorry. Yeah, there, that lights up. So that's a red sector. This is actually a famous light, the Great Point light at the end of this Nantucket Island. And that red sector is marking this shoal out here called Tucker Nuck Shoal. This is like 6 or 7 feet, and out here's 40 40 feet. And so the idea of this red light is when you see if you're going by there and you see a red light, then in other words, you're traveling north this way. You're traveling north this way or south this way. As soon as you see a red light, you've crossed into this sector, and you have to be careful about that. And so let's just look here. If I'm traveling up from the north, this is, I just laid a pathway over the top of this. That's what's marked on the chart, just those dashes. And then this obviously, this little red lighting up like this, that's a function of qtVlm. It's not a part of the chart. But what you see on the chart is the red sector marker like that. And then you see this dashed line. And so if I just go on here, what's the bearing of that dashed line? It's 64. You see, down here it's 57, 60, it's just getting that. And then if I go up here, now I'm crossing over, and now it's more than 64, 66, 68, 69, 70. So this line here is marking the way. Now, and I'm on the boat, and I don't care where I'm on the boat. I could be on the boat here. It won't matter so much. But if I'm over here somewhere, I'm on the boat, and I'm using a bearing compass, and I'm looking at this light. And I'm looking at this light, and now in this case it's going to turn red. But let's say it did not have the red sector. Then I can just say that I'm going to call this my danger bearing. My danger bearing here is 64 degrees, and I don't want, when I'm taking the bearing with my compass, looking at that light, I'm going to watch it. And as soon as that bearing gets more than 64, then I know I'm in the red sector. I'm in the dangerous part. So I want to cross over that without that happening if I'm traveling in this area. Or I know I'm in here somewhere. Likewise, coming in from here, this is a bearing down here. See, looking at, I've just put a marker here marking this. And so this is a bearing of 086. So up here, I've got a big bearing, 90, 92, so forth like that. Here is now 86, and now here it's down here. It's 82, 80, something like that. So this danger bearing on this side of the danger, this side of the bearing, I want no less than 86, right? I want no less than 86. So I got 90 here. So here's my 86. Here's 82. That is less than 82. I mean, less than 86, so it's wrong. I'm in the danger zone. So that's how a danger bearing is marked. It doesn't really, can lay this out on a kitchen table before my boat's even there. So don't be confused that it doesn't really, when you're defining for your own navigation, a danger bearing that you're going to use if you need it, it doesn't matter where the boat is. You can lay this out before you even get there, and then you just know ahead of time, and in this case, how to do it. So, but then often you have to do it on the wing, like we are in our actual problem here. Where was that? Number 9, 10, here. So the situation here is the boat is and it says in the exercise the boat is, somewhere around here, but it doesn't matter. It could be up here, it could be down here, it could be anywhere. But it says we want to go from this area, we want to get into here, and this is not here. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up a danger bearing to this mark here. So what you would do is just make a pathway, create a pathway. The name doesn't matter. Start from the first part, append POIs, and then just out here somewhere draw one, and then draw one on here, and escape. So there's the marker. Now, where is this going to be? Well, the exercise says to make an assumption that you don't want to be, that you want to give yourself a safety margin of 0.2. Where does it say that? No more than. I thought it says give yourself a safety margin of 0.2. Oh yeah, here. Assume you want to pass 0.2 north of the proper location of the missing buoy, right? Okay, so what we would do then is just make a new mark. It doesn't matter what it is, but what matters is that we go here, put one range mark on it, and we want that to be 0.2 nautical miles, and say okay. Now, so then I can say here's where the buoy was, right? Here's where it was, and then my goal is I've set myself a safety margin. I'm coming in. Now, keep in mind, this is an area that does indeed have strong currents going this way, and it is an area with fog. And keep in mind what we're doing here, we're learning navigation as if we did not have a GPS, like the GPS failed us. So here's our scenario. It's a fog. It's time. This can always have strong currents up there. It can frequently have fog. And unfortunately, we're down here somewhere. We have to go over here right now. And there's no GPS. So that's a type of basic navigation we're learning. And danger bearing is a fundamental concept in that sense. So all I do then is just come down here to to something like I'm just touching that. Well, let me drag it all the way over here. But, you see something like that. And so what I need to do is stay above here. Now, my boat's here. So what I need to do, knowing that situation, I need to head up here somewhere and then stay above that bearing. And that bearing is 246. 246 magnetic. And then you can test yourself. Here the bearing is 238, 238, 240. I mean, you can do this out if you want to, 252. So I want that to be no more than 246. No more than 246. And that should be, what do we get here? New bearing. Where does it say that? From a point bearing to like 260 bearing 20. Oh, wait, 246. As long as the bearing is less than. So no more than 246. Okay, that's what the answer says. And that's what makes sense. So that is the danger-bearing concept. It's a very versatile and very basic. And hopefully this video solves that problem. We have several other practice problems, so you can work that out.